Have you ever wondered why some places on Earth are so beautiful that they go far beyond human imagination? These are wonders shaped over millions of years by wind, water, ice, fire, and deep movements within the Earth. Some are as majestic as an ancient world, while others are so mysterious that they make us feel nature is still hiding countless marvels. Each landscape carries within it power, beauty, and the marks of time that no human hand can recreate. Today we will explore the greatest natural wonders in the world, where the Earth appears in its most raw and breathtaking form. In the middle of the vast Pacific Ocean, Easter Island Rapa Nui of Chile rises as an isolated volcanic landmass where raw nature and ancient heritage exist side by side. Formed by powerful ancient eruptions, the island preserves wide volcanic craters, hardened lava plateaus, and dark cliffs that extend directly toward the open ocean. Nearly 1,000 Moai statues were carved from volcanic rock, and many stand over 30 feet tall, about the height of a 3-story building, enduring for centuries. Ancient Polynesian people moved stone blocks weighing dozens of tons using simple tools, dragging them across rough basalt ground, and island residents still recount how their ancestors raised the statues on open grassland. Without dense forests or major rivers, the surface is mostly wide grass fields and coarse basalt stone, creating a stark and untouched landscape marked by limited human presence. The blend of ancient volcanic terrain, monumental stone figures, and a small local community shapes a setting that feels both primitive and deeply connected to human history. Angel Falls in Bolivar State, Venezuela, rises straight from an ancient stone plateau where water drops freely through untouched rainforest that remains largely unchanged by modern development. There is no road leading directly to the site, so access requires small aircraft and river travel, turning the journey into a real expedition through remote wilderness. With a height of about 3,300 feet, more than 3 times the Eiffel Tower, this waterfall holds the world record for the tallest uninterrupted drop. In 1933, American pilot Jimmy Angel flew over this area and gave his name to the falls, bringing international recognition to the remote landscape. Steep vertical cliffs surround the waterfall like massive natural walls, where dense rainforest and ancient rock formations connect to form an almost isolated ecosystem. Patagonia of Argentina and Chile stretches across the southern tip of South America, forming a vast territory where ancient geological structures remain clearly imprinted on the land. The terrain was shaped by tectonic activity and long-lasting glaciation over millions of years, exposing granite and sedimentary layers that preserve deep planetary history. Massive ancient glaciers continue to move slowly across centuries, grinding rock into fine sediment and creating cloudy lakes filled with suspended mineral particles. This region is considered one of the least populated areas on Earth, with extremely low settlement density compared to its immense land area spanning hundreds of thousands of square miles. Small pastoral communities live scattered across wide grasslands, maintaining nature-based livelihoods and adapting to long distances between isolated human settlements. The coexistence of large-scale glaciers at relatively low latitudes and diverse ecosystems creates a rare landscape structure reflecting prolonged geological and biological evolution. Located in Indonesia, Komodo National Park reveals a pristine volcanic island environment where terrestrial and marine ecosystems exist together in natural balance. This protected area was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1991, highlighting its outstanding biological value and remarkable natural landscape. Komodo dragons can grow longer than 10 feet and weigh over 150 pounds, comparable to the length of a small boat, forming a distinctive biological symbol. The surrounding marine ecosystem is rich in biodiversity, with coral reefs, seagrass beds, and thousands of species, supporting local communities engaged in traditional fishing livelihoods. The landscape features natural pink sand beaches, dry savanna vegetation, and rugged hilly terrain, creating a rare and remarkably untouched natural environment. The combination of giant reptiles, diverse marine ecosystems, and an isolated island setting creates a uniquely compelling destination with exceptional ecological significance. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park in Hunan Province, China, reveals a remarkable world of quartz sandstone pillars where natural forces have shaped an almost surreal landscape over millions of years. The landscape was recognized by UNESCO as a World Natural Heritage Site in 1992, confirming its outstanding geological, biological, and aesthetic global significance. Thousands of stone pillars rise between about 600 and 1,000 feet, comparable to buildings over 60 stories tall, formed through long periods of weathering and erosion. A rich ecosystem with dense primary forests provides habitat for many endemic species, helping maintain ecological balance and long-term environmental stability within the protected area. Local communities have lived in harmony with this rugged terrain for generations, preserving traditional practices closely connected to the surrounding forest and mountainous environment. Zhangjiajie symbolizes the creative power of nature and stands as a representative landmark showcasing the unique geological beauty of China to the wider world. Meteora monasteries in central Greece appear as a unique complex of monasteries built upon massive sandstone pillars within a dramatic and awe-inspiring natural landscape. In 1988, UNESCO recognized Meteora as a World Heritage Site, confirming its outstanding geological significance and its deep connection between human devotion and nature. Beginning in the 14th century, Eastern Orthodox monks constructed monasteries atop the rocks using rope ladders and pulley systems, demonstrating remarkable determination and engineering skill. towering rock formations were created tens of millions of years ago through tectonic uplift and erosion, resulting in steep, isolated terrain rarely seen elsewhere. These monasteries continue to support traditional religious life, where monastic communities preserve sacred art and valuable manuscripts passed down through many generations. When you arrive here, you will feel overwhelmed by the immense stone pillars rising into open space, crowned by ancient monasteries that create a powerful and unforgettable visual scene. Socotra Island of Yemen lies in the Indian Ocean and stands out as an isolated land where nature evolved independently and created a rare endemic ecosystem. The island has been separated for millions of years, allowing hundreds of species to develop only here, turning the area into what many describe as a living natural museum. The dragon blood tree, with its umbrella-shaped crown, has become a biological symbol, shaping the island's unusual appearance and contributing to its strong scientific importance. The landscape combines limestone plateaus, dry desert plains, rugged mountain ranges, and white sand beaches, forming a wild setting with a surreal visual character. Local communities continue traditional lifestyles within a dry environment marked by rocky limestone ground and limited natural resources across many generations. When you arrive here, you clearly sense complete separation from the outside world, surrounded by strange vegetation and a natural environment that feels almost untouched. Fly Geyser, located in the desert of Nevada in the United States, is a geological masterpiece that causes amazement through the combination of water and colors. Continuous eruptions of hot mineral water from the ground have built up limestone mounds in a conical shape featuring a unique multi-tiered structure. This construction was formed from a random combination between human well drilling activities and the powerful pressure within the deep geothermal pockets of the Earth. Layers of thermophilic algae covering the rock surfaces create shimmering bands of red, orange, and green colors under the perpetually spraying water of the geyser. You can participate in guided walking tours to witness the beauty of the small pools of water surrounding this geothermal mass with your own eyes. The accumulation of minerals over the past 60 years has helped the height of these natural rock formations increase by approximately 7 feet. Grand Canyon in Arizona, United States opens as a massive cut through a vast plateau where exposed sediment layers clearly reveal an ancient and continuous geological history. The canyon stretches about 280 miles, roughly the distance from New York to Washington, D.C., showing a natural scale that exceeds ordinary human imagination. Its rock layers record nearly 2 billion years of tectonic movement and erosion, turning this landscape into one of the most complete geological archives found on Earth. The Colorado River continues carving through hard bedrock, proving that the steady force of flowing water over millions of years can reshape an entire elevated plateau. Indigenous communities lived around this region for generations, leaving settlement traces and oral traditions tied to a harsh environment that still provided water and essential resources. An elevation change of more than 1 mile creates distinct ecosystems within the same space, raising the question of how one canyon can support such remarkable biological diversity. Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah, United States reveals a strange rock landscape where thousands of tall stone spires rise directly from an ancient plateau surface. Some of these stone columns reach about 150 feet in height, equal to a 15-story building, showing erosion on a massive and dramatic scale. The park is famous for having the highest concentration of hoodoos in the world, formed as rainwater seeps into limestone, freezes, expands, and slowly splits the rock apart. Layers of colorful sedimentary rock are clearly stacked like pages of a geology record, preserving tens of millions of years of change across the Earth's surface. For many decades, scientists have studied the weathering process here to understand why these narrow stone pillars stand so close together yet remain structurally stable. Walking through the dense red and orange stone maze, your steps slow naturally as you sense the deep scale of space and the small presence of humans within this vast geologic structure. Devil's Tower in Wyoming, United States rises from wide grasslands as a massive rock formation completely separated from the surrounding terrain, creating a powerful and isolated natural landmark. In 1906, it became the first national monument in the United States declared by President Theodore Roosevelt, marking a turning point in national conservation policy. The rock stands about 1,200 feet above the surrounding ground, which is nearly equal to stacking two Empire State Buildings, creating a rare vertical natural structure. Its surface is formed by tall hexagonal stone columns created from slowly cooled magma millions of years ago, leaving deep vertical grooves clearly visible along the entire tower. For many generations, Native American communities have considered Devil's Tower a sacred site, connected to ancient legends and traditional ceremonies that continue to hold cultural importance. Within this raw and largely untouched landscape, how many natural formations can command such visual power while also preserving deep historical and cultural meaning across generations? Serengeti National Park in Tanzania stretches across an almost endless grassland, where a vast wildlife ecosystem continues to operate on an ancient and stable savanna foundation. Each year, about 2 million wildebeest, along with hundreds of thousands of zebras, move in long lines across hundreds of miles, a scale equal to the population of a major city. This migration follows a natural cycle in search of grass and water, creating a clear food chain relationship between massive herbivore herds and powerful predators. Open plains extend widely with scattered acacia trees and an unobstructed horizon, preserving a rare sense of untouched wilderness that remains difficult to find elsewhere. Local communities living along the park boundary have long observed the seasonal movement of herds and adjusted their grazing practices to match the rhythm of the ecosystem. Serengeti stands as a global symbol of large-scale ecological balance, demonstrating that an intact natural system can sustain itself across many generations without artificial control. Spanning across South America, the Amazon rainforest is the largest tropical forest on Earth, a vast ecosystem that regulates global water cycles and atmospheric stability. The forest covers about 2,100,000 square miles, roughly the size of the entire European Union, forming a continuous green expanse without clear natural boundaries. This region contains around 10% of all known species on Earth, from ancient plant life to rare animals living densely within complex ecological networks. Multiple layers of tree canopies stack like a natural roof, covering the ground with thick organic matter and creating nutrient-rich habitats for countless organisms. An extensive river network weaves through the forest, with seasonal water changes supporting indigenous communities who rely on fishing and traditional agriculture for survival. Within this dense vegetation and humid environment, human presence remains small in scale, preserving ancestral lifestyles inside one of the most expansive natural systems on the planet. Lake Baikal in southern Siberia, Russia stretches like an ancient crack in the Earth crust where fresh water has gathered over millions of years of tectonic movement. The lake reaches a depth of more than 5,000 feet, equal to stacking about 3 Empire State Buildings, and holds nearly 20% of the world's unfrozen fresh water supply. Formed around 25 million years ago, Baikal preserves thick sediment layers that act like a geological archive, helping scientists reconstruct ancient climate changes in clear detail. The water is so clear that visibility can extend beyond 100 feet, creating the impression of a vast glass surface reflecting the open sky above. More than thousands of species live here, and most are found nowhere else, turning Baikal into a rare, natural laboratory for studying biological evolution and adaptation. In 1996, the lake was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its outstanding geological and biological value, confirming its place among the greatest natural wonders on Earth. Milford Sound in New Zealand opens as a narrow fjord carved by ancient glaciers where steep cliffs rise almost vertically straight from deep ocean water. The fjord reaches a depth of more than 1,300 feet, creating dark, high-pressure marine conditions that support a distinct underwater ecosystem. Waterfalls drop directly from tall rock faces into the sea, forming constant interaction between stone and water, while keeping the landscape largely untouched by human structures. The surrounding cliffs rise about 4,000 feet, which is roughly equal to stacking 3 Empire State Buildings, showing the immense scale of glacial erosion over thousands of years. The water forms 2 natural layers with a thin, fresh surface above and denser salt water below, allowing unique marine life to survive in unusual conditions. Milford Sound is regarded as a defining natural symbol of New Zealand, representing powerful glacial forces, dramatic geological structure, and long-term ecological significance. Rising in the middle of the Pacific Ocean is Bora Bora in French Polynesia, an ancient volcanic island surrounded by a turquoise lagoon that forms a nearly enclosed natural system. The lagoon stretches about 12 miles across, equal to the length of nearly 20 football fields placed end to end, showing a scale larger than many expect. At the center of the island stands the remaining core of an extinct volcano, a solid rock mass shaped by geological forces over millions of years. A surrounding coral reef functions as a natural barrier, helping the lagoon maintain calm waters while supporting a rich and diverse marine ecosystem. In many areas, the water is so clear that the white sandy bottom can be seen easily, allowing coral life to grow in conditions that remain largely untouched. Bora Bora represents a lasting connection between ancient geology and coastal communities, where local residents continue to depend on the sea and reef resources across generations. Belize Barrier Reef and the Great Blue Hole off the coast of Belize create a vast marine ecosystem where coral structures and an ancient sinkhole exist within the same natural setting. The reef system stretches for hundreds of miles along the Caribbean coast, forming a stable habitat that supports thousands of marine species with remarkable biological diversity. The Great Blue Hole measures nearly 1,000 feet across and more than 400 feet deep, roughly the size of a large sports stadium, showing a rare underwater geological scale. This formation developed when the collapsed roof of an ancient limestone cave gave way after sea levels rose, leaving steep vertical walls and massive stalactites preserved inside. Many local divers rely on this area for their livelihood, guiding visitors through largely untouched marine environments that remain close to their natural state. In 1996, the Belize Barrier Reef was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, marking an important historical step in global efforts to protect this exceptional coral ecosystem. Lake Titicaca lies between Peru and Bolivia across the high Andes Plateau, forming a vast freshwater lake surrounded by ancient mountain landscapes. At about 12,500 feet above sea level, it ranks among the highest navigable lakes in the world, similar in elevation to many well-known mountain peaks. Covering more than 3,000 square miles, the lake serves as a critical water source for farming, fishing, and community life across generations. The extreme elevation shapes a unique ecosystem, where many species have adapted to thinner air and reduced oxygen levels over long periods of time. Floating reed islands exist on the lake surface, where indigenous families build homes and maintain traditional lifestyles closely connected to the water. Lake Titicaca holds deep cultural meaning in the Andes region, functioning both as a vital natural resource and as a space-preserving community history for centuries. The Nazca Lines in Peru represent a massive archaeological wonder covering 190 square miles, transforming the arid desert into a grand canvas visible only from high above. This system consists of over 1,000 geoglyphs, ranging from geometric lines to approximately 70 giant figures, such as hummingbirds, monkeys, and unique desert spiders. These prominent animal figures possess staggering dimensions, notably the 427-foot-long condor and an intricate hummingbird stretching across a vast, ancient distance. Scientists believe this is a massive astronomical map, created by the ancient Nazca people to track celestial bodies and harsh seasonal cycles. Existing since approximately 500 BC, these ground formations have remained perfectly intact due to the specific hyper-arid climate of the coastal Peruvian desert. Today, the only way to fully appreciate the true grandeur of this wonder is by observing from small aircraft hundreds of feet above the desert floor. The Australian outback is a vast crimson world where red sands and sandstone ridges stretch endlessly from the northern coast down to the remote southern shores. Covering over 2 million square miles, this region is larger than half of the United States, but supports only a tiny fraction of the population. The true allure comes from straight, infinite roads without a single turn, where red dust billows behind long journeys, traveling through the silent and empty desert landscapes. Despite the harsh and arid climate, this inland territory still harbors resilient life, from kangaroos to vibrant flocks of colorful parrots soaring across the wide horizon. This unique combination of magnificent landscapes and ancient cultural values has transformed this land into one of the greatest and most significant natural wonders on the entire planet. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park in Hunan is a unique stone universe where deep ravines lie nestled between dense primeval forests, creating a magnificent landscape of natural wonders. A system of over 3,000 sandstone pillars rises straight toward the sky, exceeding 656 feet, resembling natural towers from traditional ancient ink-wash paintings. The humid climate and abundant rainfall year-round have transformed each summit into a lush botanical island, floating gracefully amidst a sea of clouds and ancient sandstone pillars. The combination of small waterfalls, clear streams, and high-altitude lakes creates a scene of stone islands floating in mid-air, right in reality at this spectacular world location. Recognized as a World Heritage Site since 1992, this location perfectly preserves the invaluable geological values and the pristine, ancient beauty of the natural world. You can experience massive outdoor elevators or walk on wooden corridors to pass through the stone forest while observing deep abysses from high above the mountain peaks. Socotra is the largest island in the archipelago, located within the Indian Ocean, situated approximately 236 miles south of the coast of the nation of Yemen. The local landscape resembles an alien planet with red cliffs, white sand dunes, and arid forests featuring trees with strange shapes that appear incredibly unique and truly otherworldly. The great highlight is the Dragon's Blood Tree, with its vast, inverted umbrella-shaped canopy, growing exclusively on hillsides like a forest emerging from a classic science fiction movie. The ecosystem here is exceptionally unique, as over 90% of the reptile species on the island are endemic and cannot be found anywhere else on the planet. Native people have long used the red resin from these trees for dyeing fabrics and traditional medicine, honoring it as dragon blood that protects human health and vitality. Despite facing massive tropical storms, the highly resilient biological system helps this wonder recover and maintain its mysterious, pristine beauty for you to discover and witness today. Catacombs of Paris is a tunnel network over 200 miles long, deep underground, formed from limestone quarries that were excavated during the ancient and historic Roman times. This system stretches beneath 12 city districts, where old quarry tunnels were repurposed to serve as a massive storage site for the skeletal remains of many deceased people. At the accessible level, you see dark corridors 1 mile long, with walls of human bones meticulously arranged into various geometric shapes throughout the entire silent underground space. Remains from ancient cemeteries, victims of the French Revolution, and great geniuses were all moved here without any distinction regarding their social status or their personal talents. The site holds over 6 million dead, mostly unidentified, being skeletal, remains arranged specifically because the total population of the deceased was simply too massive to manage otherwise. Currently, only 1 mile is open for tours, but the actual underground system is over 200 miles long, with many parts strictly locked and remain completely private. The Himalayas is a massive mountain range dividing the Tibetan Plateau from the Indo-Gangetic Plain, forming a natural wall between two entirely different and distinct climatic environments. This highest mountain range on Earth stretches about 1,490 miles across 5 nations: India, Nepal, Bhutan, China, and the sovereign nation of Pakistan. The range contains over 100 peaks, exceeding 23,000 feet, including Mount Everest, which stands at an impressive height of approximately 29,000 feet. Many peaks here remain untouched by human footprints, creating a feeling of a mysterious locked land that has not yet been fully explored or documented by modern civilization. Along the mountain slopes are many monasteries and small temples where monks and spiritual practitioners live in close harmony with nature and in a state of absolute silence. These mountains serve as the primary water source for hundreds of millions of people in the plains through major rivers flowing into India, Bangladesh, and southwest China. The Western Ghats is a mountain range along the west coast of India, acting as a massive green wall protecting the entire ecosystem of this large and diverse subcontinent. Stretching about 1,000 miles from north to south, this range lies just dozens of miles away from the ocean, forming a continuous and ancient natural mountain boundary. This region is one of the world's 8 biological hotspots, where over 30% of India's species live within 54,000 square miles of lush natural habitat. High elevations feature shola forests and grasslands, where dwarf trees and small lakes alternate to form unique mini-ecological sanctuaries within the ancient and protected mountain range landscape. Looking down from the hilltops, you see local villages, rice paddies, and pepper gardens, creating a vibrant mosaic of human life nestled directly at the foot of mountains. This area contains 1/3 of India's freshwater fish species, including hundreds of unique fish and other aquatic creatures living within the diverse and complex local river systems. This is Tassili Naja, covering over 28,000 square miles in the Sahara Desert, forming one of the largest and most impressive sandstone plateaus on the planet. This area was once a lush grassland and tropical forest with a humid climate, allowing large animals and humans to thrive in a region known as Green Sahara. In many areas, you see dozens of natural rock arches carved by wind and sand into stone bridges suspended over deep crevices like a science fiction movie scene. The name Tassili Naja means Plateau of the Rivers, a nostalgic title because this extremely dry place today once featured many flowing streams and abundant water sources long ago. With over 15,000 recorded rock paintings and engravings, it is the world's largest open-air art museum, located in the middle of a vast and arid desert. To this day, the Tuareg and local people view this as a sacred land, where they protect ancient rock paintings and prehistoric artifacts from any outside intrusion. Dalol is located in the Danakil Depression, being one of the lowest points on Earth at approximately 410 feet below the average sea level. This site is among the hottest places on Earth, where average temperatures remain high and frequently exceed 122 degrees during the peak summer months. The ground looks like another planet, with multicolored ponds nestled among white salt pans to create a unique landscape that feels both surreal and intensely real. The green pools in Dalol have extremely high acidity levels similar to diluted sulfuric acid, making it impossible for humans to touch the water even briefly. The surface features salt chimneys and flower-shaped formations, created as brine bubbles up and evaporates into natural structures that look like architecture from another world. Due to its unique chemical composition, Dalol is widely considered one of the most extreme geochemical landscapes currently existing on the entire surface of our planet. The Rwenzori is Africa's third highest mountain range, with Stanley Peak reaching 16,700 feet, permanently covered in white snow despite sitting directly on the equator. This place is known as Africa's Little Himalayas, with icy summits, located above lush green forests and distinct ecological zones that change rapidly across the steep mountain slopes. Narrow valleys and white waterfalls flow down from the high peaks, creating a pristine African landscape that cannot be found anywhere else on this vast and diverse continent. Vegetation is divided into 5 elevation zones, ranging from tropical rainforests and cloud forests to alpine meadows and rocky snow zones, with unique species in each specific area. These mountains are home to the Bakonjo and Baamba people, communities living on the hillsides through traditional farming and hunting while staying in harmony with the forest. Trekking journeys lead you through mist-covered forests to hear birds singing and streams flowing amidst a foggy atmosphere that feels both mysterious and beautiful to explore. Oldoinyo Lengai is an active stratovolcano in northern Tanzania, situated near the Great Rift Valley and Lake Natron, where tectonic plates are slowly pulling the Earth apart. From a distance, the volcano appears as a perfectly symmetrical cone rising above the vast grasslands, standing out against the dry desert and the surrounding red alkaline lake. Reaching nearly 9,700 feet, this geological formation towers over the flat plains, creating a magnificent landmark within the wild and desolate landscape of the region. This is the only carbonatite volcano on Earth that erupts nitrocarbonatite magma, a highly alkaline lava rich in sodium and potassium, differing greatly from common silicate-based magma. Upon cooling, this unique lava transforms into a distinct grayish-white or ivory color, creating a rare white lava phenomenon that exists nowhere else on our entire planet. This is the Serengeti, a vast savanna ecosystem covering approximately 12,000 square miles, stretching from northern Tanzania to the southwestern regions of Kenya near the Great Lake Victoria. This land features flat grasslands and open woodlands, with major rivers flowing through the plains, forming a vital life source for millions of migrating wild animals every year. The region appears as an endless sea of grass, reaching the horizon, where native acacia trees stand under the blue sky, while vast herds move like small dots. Beneath the shade of the wild, the Maasai people have lived for centuries, maintaining a deep connection with their livestock and this sacred and natural source of life. Each year, the area hosts a massive migration of nearly 2 million wildebeest and hundreds of thousands of zebras traveling across the vast landscape in search of green. This pristine ecosystem remains a true paradise for the Big Five, including lions, elephants, rhinos, leopards, and buffaloes living together within one of the most complete natural environments. Pungo Andongo features a massive collection of granite rock formations in northern Angola, situated between lush forests and the Kwanza River flowing through the ancient and wild trees. These rock structures rise dozens of feet high, standing out from the ground like natural towers formed after millions of years of erosion, subsidence, and intense geological weathering. The entire area looks like a pristine stone park, with various shapes leaning against each other, creating mysterious crevices, small caves, and natural pathways throughout the unique site. Because these giant boulders are clustered as if intentionally arranged, people often call this place the most peculiar stone region located within the entire territory of modern Angola. This site was a vital geographical point where indigenous communities once used the natural rock formations as shelters, sacred places for worship, and defensive positions throughout their history. The journey through this land often ends with the sound of Calandula Falls, where white curtains of water pour down from above, creating an absolutely overwhelming natural sight. The Okavango Delta is a massive inland wetland in northwestern Botswana, where the river ends its long journey within the Kalahari Basin instead of flowing into the sea. This river delta covers an area varying from 2,000 to nearly 6,000 square miles, changing constantly according to the seasonal floods throughout the entire African year. From above, the delta appears as a vast network of blue channels and green islands spreading across the red sands of the Kalahari like a giant natural oasis. Small fishing villages sit on low islands where houses are built from wood and palm leaves, blending perfectly into the surrounding green and watery environment of the swamp. all the river water simply evaporates or seeps into the dry desert soil, creating a perfect example of an endorheic basin with no outlet to the open ocean. This region holds deep spiritual significance for local communities, where the river and wild animals are forever linked to ancient myths, sacred spirits, and traditional tribal customs. The Bounai coast extends about 25 miles along eastern Sardinia, forming one of the most impressive limestone coastlines within the entire Mediterranean region and the European continent. The landscape appears as a massive limestone wall, dropping into the blue sea, separated by bays of white sand and pebbles, surrounded by turquoise waters and ancient rocky cliffs. In some areas, boats must stop far from the shore, forcing visitors to swim or hike along trails, which keeps the beaches pristine and protected from mass tourism. This coastline is famous for its high calcareous cliffs, hidden coves, and deep sea caves with crystal clear waters that allow visibility deep into the beautiful and quiet sea. Sardinian culture is clearly present through the mountain and sea lifestyle, featuring local cuisine and a deep spirit of connection with the original and wild Mediterranean natural environment. Calamariolo is known for its small white pebbles, making the shore look as if it were sprinkled with stone snow above the emerald and blue-colored coastal waters. Lake Baikal hides within the vast Siberian wilderness like a bottomless abyss, where the lowest point reaches an astonishing depth of over 5,000 feet below the cold surface. This massive volume holds enough fresh water to sustain the entire human population for 40 years, accounting for 1/5 of all liquid fresh water on our blue planet. Under the sunlight, the water is as clear as crystal, revealing the beauty of shallow bays and allowing the human eye to see deep into the underwater world. Such purity provides a home for over 2,000 endemic species, especially the Baikal seal and omal fish, which are considered the most sacred symbols of the lake. These creatures have long appeared in local legends, turning the lake into a holy sea where ancient rituals and traditional beliefs are still preserved by the local people. You can walk along the flowing rivers to admire the mystical patterns and millions of gas bubbles trapped forever beneath the surface of the clear and deep water. This is Zhangjiajie, a massive system of quartz sandstone pillars rising vertically within the humid forests of southwestern Hunan province, surrounded by thick layers of ancient and mysterious mist. This unique terrain was formed from ancient sandstone with a durable outer layer, creating a strong resistance against wind and water erosion, unlike common and soft limestone mountains. From a distance, the area appears as a forest of stone towers rising straight from the ground, covered in moss, wild shrubs, and thick layers of mountain mist. This mountain region has been home to indigenous Tujia and Miao people, communities that have remained deeply connected to the forests and high mountains for many long centuries. Some prominent stone columns have been given descriptive names, turning these natural structures into legendary characters within the vast and mystical landscape of the entire protected forest area. You can enter this mythical and futuristic world to personally witness the spectacular stone pillars that look like scenes taken directly from famous movies or high-end video games. This is Fanga Bay, a vast and shallow marine area covering about 150 square miles between the Malay Peninsula and Phuket Island in southern Thailand. The many islands appear as tall limestone pillars shaped like fingers or pyramids, looking exactly like natural temples rising directly from the center of the deep sea. About 40 small islands consist of vertical karst formations rising from the water, creating a landscape that looks like a giant forest of stone pillars across the bay. During the 1970s, This bay became a famous filming location for James Bond, which eventually made the iconic James Bond Island a global landmark for international travelers. Although the region was impacted by a major tsunami in 2004, the local ecosystem has recovered while raising global awareness about protecting these fragile natural environments. You can take a boat or canoe into hidden lagoons where sunlight shines through rock fractures, creating beautiful and shimmering light beams across the calm and clear water. In Indonesia, Mount Bromo and Tumpak Sewu exist together as two contrasting landforms, one an active volcano and the other a rare multi-tier waterfall system. Mount Bromo sits inside a volcanic crater about 6 miles wide, showing how past eruptions shaped a large geological area. Tumpak Sewu stands around 400 feet tall, with multiple water streams falling at once to form a nearly complete circular structure. Studies confirm that Bromo remains active, with periodic ash eruptions indicating that magma beneath the surface is still moving continuously. The waterfall basin reaches more than 100 feet deep, created by long-term erosion as water constantly cuts into the rock surface. The presence of both an erupting crater and a multi-stream waterfall in one area forms a rare geological structure that is almost never found elsewhere. Belize Barrier Reef and the Great Blue Hole off the coast of Belize form a vast marine system combined with a deep circular sinkhole that attracts global exploration attention. The Great Blue Hole measures about 400 feet across and nearly 400 feet deep, allowing direct study of ancient submerged cave structures. The reef system extends over 180 miles, supporting more than 500 species of fish and about 100 coral species in this marine zone. Geological research confirms the blue hole formed over 10,000 years ago, when sea levels were lower before later flooding as water levels rose naturally. In 2018, a submersible expedition mapped the bottom in detail, revealing thick sediment layers and low oxygen conditions at deeper levels. Its nearly perfect circular shape can be clearly identified from satellite images, making it one of the most recognizable natural ocean features on Earth. The Amazon in South America is the largest tropical rainforest known for its dense ecosystem and wide global environmental influence across multiple natural systems. Its river system releases about 20% of global fresh water into the ocean, directly shaping the water cycle across the entire planet. The forest canopy forms multiple layers, creating different habitats that regulate light and moisture throughout the entire ecosystem. Scientific studies estimate the Amazon stores around 90 to 140 billion metric tons of carbon, helping stabilize global climate conditions. One hectare of forest can support hundreds of tree species, forming extremely dense biodiversity and providing valuable natural research data. The Amazon can generate its own rainfall through continuous evaporation and condensation cycles within the forest system. Lençóis Maranhenses in Brazil covers about 600 square miles and is known for vast white dunes mixed with thousands of seasonal lagoons, forming a rare landscape on Earth. The region receives around 60 inches of rain each year, which fills more than 10,000 shallow lagoons that remain for months before drying out completely. The ground beneath the sand holds water, effectively preventing deep absorption and allowing lagoons to remain stable without rivers or permanent water sources. Sand dunes can reach up to 100 feet and constantly shift shape under wind forces, making the entire terrain change noticeably over time. The lagoon water stays clear because it forms directly from rainfall and contains little sediment, giving scientists a controlled environment for studying isolated water systems. Some fish survive by leaving eggs in dry sand that hatch when water returns, creating a rare biological cycle within a dune environment. In Venezuela, Angel Falls is recognized as the highest waterfall on Earth, where water descends directly from a steep vertical cliff, forming an uncommon large-scale natural structure. Its total height is about 3,200 feet, with a continuous free fall close to 2,600 feet, confirmed by geographic studies as the highest known waterfall. The cliff remains nearly vertical, allowing the water to stay in free fall for most of its descent, instead of spreading across the rock surface. The formation sits on ancient rock created hundreds of millions of years ago, showing long-term geological uplift and erosion processes shaping the current landform. As the water drops from extreme height, it separates into smaller segments due to air resistance, demonstrating changes in flow structure during movement. A single drop of water can take about 20 seconds to reach the base, indicating an unusually long falling distance compared to most waterfalls. Patagonia stretches across Argentina and Chile as a vast land where glacial terrain and high mountains combine to create a largely untouched natural environment. The region covers more than 600,000 square miles, formed by tectonic activity and long-lasting glaciation that built a complex geological structure. Ice masses over 1,000 feet thick have accumulated over time, storing large freshwater reserves and directly shaping surrounding landforms. Many areas have fewer than 2 people per square mile, showing extremely low population density and minimal human impact on the natural environment. The landscape extends for hundreds of miles, with few obstacles, allowing continuous visibility and clearly revealing layered terrain and transitions between landforms. Some glaciers can move several feet per day, gradually altering the ground surface in ways that are not easily noticed through normal observation. In Milford Sound on the South Island of New Zealand, a fjord deeper than 1,300 feet opens between steep cliffs, creating a rare geological environment. Cliffs rise to around 4,000 feet, dropping directly into the water, showing strong glacial erosion that shaped the landscape over long geological periods. Traveling by boat reveals a space enclosed by mountains on both sides, forming a narrow natural corridor that extends across the length of the fjord. Milford Sound formed when ancient glaciers carved deep into rock and were later filled by ocean water, creating a distinct narrow inlet structure. After rainfall, multiple waterfalls appear at the same time along the cliffs, causing visible changes in the surface landscape under natural conditions. A fresh water layer, about 10 to 30 feet thick, rests above salt water, creating a rare stratified system within a marine environment. In Australia, the outback opens as a vast inland region with red soil and distant settlements, creating an almost isolated environment. The outback covers about 70% of the country, forming one of the largest inland regions in the world. Population density in many areas is below 1 person per 10 square miles, reflecting extreme sparsity. Average rainfall in many areas is low, causing rivers and surface water to appear only briefly and remain unstable. Many areas have hard ground and sparse vegetation, with only a few drought-resistant plants, forming long-lasting harsh conditions. Some regions in the outback can go for more than 1 year without significant rain, creating continuous dry land rarely seen at such a large scale. The Swiss Alps in Switzerland extend across most of the country, forming a vast high mountain region with snow-covered peaks and deep valleys. The highest peak reaches about 15,000 feet, creating extreme conditions and low-pressure environments at high altitude. Valleys and mountain slopes shaped by glacial erosion form complex three-dimensional terrain, supporting plants and animals adapted to high elevations. Studies record changes in glacier area over time, showing continuous environmental transformation across centuries. Tunnel systems, mountain railways, and climbing routes have been constructed to adapt to steep, rugged terrain, improving transportation and tourism. Ice cores drilled here provide climate records extending beyond 10,000 years, allowing scientists to reconstruct long-term environmental history. Everglades National Park in the United States is a vast wetland where water spreads slowly across the surface instead of forming a clearly defined river system. The water system extends over 100 miles, moving extremely slowly and forming a wide flowing sheet across the entire region. Dense marsh grass can reduce water flow by more than 90%, helping retain sediment and maintain stable land structure over time. This ecosystem is recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site and a biosphere reserve, highlighting its scientific and conservation value worldwide. The ecosystem combines fresh water and salt water, allowing different species to survive together within a rare transitional environment. Everglades is one of the very few places where two different crocodile species can live together within the same large brackish ecosystem. Thawes, well on the Oregon coast in the United States, appears as a circular opening on coastal rock where ocean water continuously rushes in and disappears into the ground. The opening is about 20 feet wide and 20 to 30 feet deep, allowing large volumes of water to drop inside during strong wave activity. Seawater does not only fall downward, but also moves through underground rock channels, forming a continuous circulation driven by wave cycles. Visitors usually approach Thawes Well by walking on the coastal rock surface, keeping a minimum safe distance of 20 feet to avoid water suddenly surging. Pressure builds quickly when waves push inward and can force water to shoot back upward more than 10 feet through the opening. During high tide, the entire opening can be completely covered by seawater, making the structure temporarily disappear from view. Located between Bangladesh and India, Sundarbans is the largest mangrove forest in the world, where land and water merge into a system that constantly changes with tidal cycles. The area extends over about 4,000 square miles, with most of the surface consisting of water and mud, showing a structure strongly controlled by tidal environments. Nearly 35% of the area can become fully submerged during tidal cycles, causing the boundary between land and water to shift continuously over time. A network of channels stretches for hundreds of miles, forming a complex system that controls water flow and reshapes the terrain across long periods. Mangrove trees develop exposed breathing roots above the ground to exchange oxygen, demonstrating a survival mechanism in oxygen-poor, muddy soil conditions. Some zones can change from dry ground to fully flooded within a few hours, making movement and location tracking dependent on time and water level. Bay of Fundy is located on the eastern coast of Canada and is notable for extremely large water level changes, creating continuous coastal landscape cycles. The narrow funnel shape of the bay compresses water, increasing tidal effect and strongly affecting shoreline structures. The tidal cycle allows clear observation of exposed and submerged states within a single day, providing a unique natural experience. Currents are strong enough to transport sediment, directly impacting the seabed and forming new geological layers. The tidal range can exceed 50 feet, moving billions of tons of water each cycle, creating the largest tidal phenomenon in the world. The long, narrow shape of the bay increases resonance, causing water to rise higher than in open ocean areas. At El Peñón de Guatapé in Colombia, a granite monolith rises from a fragmented water landscape, creating a rarely seen isolated geological form. A staircase follows a natural crack, allowing access to the summit without using specialized climbing equipment, extending along steep rock faces. The rock has the typical gray hue of granite, standing like a giant pillar, completely separated from surrounding landforms. The formation of the rock took millions of years as magma solidified and was uplifted to the surface through multiple geological stages. The surface lacks soil cover, limiting vegetation and exposing the granite structure with vertical fractures extending across its height. From the summit, the surrounding area appears as a network of water and small islands, forming a rare spatial pattern in nature. Imagine Batara Gorge Waterfall in Lebanon, where water falls from about 850 feet through 3 limestone tiers, forming a unique sinkhole rarely seen elsewhere. This sinkhole is approximately 100 feet wide and over 850 feet deep, formed by millions of years of limestone erosion. International geological studies confirm the canyon structure results from natural erosion and weathering, not volcanic or earthquake activity. Water flow is strongest during the rainy season, revealing the 3 separate tiers with speeds reaching several hundred cubic feet per second. The grooves and hollows on the spiral cliff help scientists study vertical erosion mechanisms and average erosion rates. Batara Gorge is one of the few waterfalls worldwide flowing through a 3-tier sinkhole with an almost perfect structure, rarely found anywhere else. The underwater waterfall off the coast of Mauritius creates a unique waterfall illusion as sediment flows from deep ocean, forming a striking visual from helicopters or seaplanes. The seabed in this area exceeds 1,500 feet deep, allowing sediment to sink quickly, creating a continuous waterfall effect on the surface. Ocean currents carry sand and fine mud, forming continuous channels extending hundreds of feet along the flow direction. Studies show the waterfall shape changes seasonally due to variations in currents and sediment, reflecting a continuous natural process. The illusion stretches nearly 3 miles in length, with a maximum width of about 1,200 feet, attracting tourists and photographers worldwide. Survey data from sonar and satellites shows sediment channels arranged continuously, creating a rare three-dimensional effect on the ocean. Mount Roraima, located at the border of Venezuela, Guyana, and Brazil, is a tepuy with a flat summit and sheer cliffs rising thousands of feet. The flat top stretches nearly 9 miles, creating an isolated environment unique to this tepuy. The ecosystem on the summit supports many plants and animals adapted to nutrient-poor soils and rock crevices holding natural water. The mountain formed from sandstone over 2 billion years ago, making it one of the oldest geological formations on the planet. Visitors must trek several days through dense forest and steep slopes to reach the summit, experiencing unique highland ecology. Some plant and fungal species occur only on Mount Roraima and cannot be found anywhere else in the world. The Eye Lake in Croatia is a natural lake nearly perfectly round, with a diameter of 500 feet and a stable water environment supporting aquatic life throughout the year. The lake has an average depth of 15 feet, sufficient to observe the bottom and study organisms living in still water conditions. The water is very clear, with little sediment, allowing scientists to measure and study the lake bottom without specialized equipment. Visitors can approach the lake using surrounding trails, maintaining a minimum safe distance of 20 feet to avoid slippery areas and soft mud along the shore. The best time to visit the lake is during the dry season, when the water is stable and clear, allowing easy observation of aquatic life and the lake bottom. The water maintains a uniform blue color due to little sediment, allowing direct observation of the lake bottom in many areas. Benagal Sea Cave is a famous sea cave on the southern coast of Portugal, formed as ocean waves slowly wore away the limestone cliffs over a very long time. It is most famous for its round dome and the natural opening at the top, which is often described as a natural skylight. The most stunning feature is the opening in the ceiling, because the light falls straight inside and makes the whole space look bright like an outdoor room. Between the curved yellow and orange rock walls, a small strip of sand appears inside the cave, creating the feeling that the sea has hidden a secret beach there. The rock here is about 20 million years old, so every layer of color, every curve, and every mark of erosion shows a very long geological story. The combination of the huge dome, the natural skylight, the blue seawater, and the hidden sandy area has made Benagal a natural wonder that is hard to confuse with any other place. Lake Tekapo is a high-altitude lake on New Zealand's South Island, and it is best known for its turquoise blue water that almost seems to glow. The lake sits in a wide basin surrounded by golden grasslands, seasonally snow-covered mountains, and bright water filled with fine glacial rock particles. Lake Tekapo has its famous milky turquoise color because the water contains glacial flour, which is very fine rock powder ground by glaciers and carried into the lake. These tiny mineral particles scatter light in a way that makes the surface look almost bright from within, especially when the sky is clear. This area has very strict control of artificial light to reduce light pollution, so Lake Tekapo is considered one of the most impressive stargazing places in New Zealand. The landscape here is so attractive because the cold blue water stands in strong contrast with the golden grass, the snow-covered mountains, and the huge, open sky. Tunnel of Love in Ukraine is an industrial railway famous for its green arch of trees that closes over the tracks and makes the place feel like something from a fairy tale. It is known around the world for its highly photogenic look and is often seen as one of the most romantic places in Ukraine. The most famous part of this place stretches for nearly 2 miles, but its greater appeal comes from the living tunnel shape that real trains have accidentally trimmed over time. Unlike a rock cave or a natural canyon, this place feels special because steel, wood, leaves, and light come together in one rare scene. Whenever visitors walk along the railway, the space feels tighter, while the view seems pulled deep into a long, green passage. According to local legend, couples who come to Tunnel of Love can make a wish, as long as their love is truly sincere. Would you dare to walk upon the deep blue mirror of Abraham Lake in Alberta, Canada, where mystical secrets are hidden beneath thick layers of ice? Hidden deep within this 20-mile-long lake are millions of white methane bubbles, stacked together like giant pillars of frozen gemstones. These sculptures, made of highly flammable toxic gas, are trapped forever as the water freezes rapidly in temperatures of -22 degrees Fahrenheit. With incredible transparency, you can see 10 feet straight down to where crystal pills are suspended in the vast ocean depths. Fierce winds, reaching 45 miles per hour, constantly polish the surface, keeping the ice glossy while it emits powerful cracking roars. This natural wonder is a powerful visual experience that challenges human courage when facing the extraordinary and unusual beauty of nature. Hidden within the frigid Altai region of Russia, Geyser Lake is a unique geological wonder possessing a mystical and enchanting beauty. Even when Siberia temperatures drop below -22 degrees Fahrenheit, this 100 feet wide lake never freezes due to underground springs. The most special feature lies at the lake bottom, 6.5 feet deep, where clay mud flows constantly erupt to form concentric circles. These turquoise patterns never stay still, but continuously change their shapes according to the pressure from the earth below. The lake water maintains absolute transparency, allowing you to clearly observe every movement of the mineral layers deep at the bottom. This is a vivid natural painting where geothermal energy and brilliant colors defy all rules of the harsh winter season. Huacachina is a world-famous oasis village located in southwestern Peru and is widely known as the Oasis of America. Surrounding the emerald green lake are massive sand dunes reaching 1,600 feet, which is equivalent to the height of the tallest skyscrapers in the world. This land has a harsh climate, where daytime temperatures frequently exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit, but underground moisture still sustains the palm trees. Professional sandboarders here can reach speeds of 50 miles per hour when sliding down from the steep peaks of the sand dunes. The lake is fed entirely by groundwater from deep rock layers, and it is home to approximately 100 local residents. This unique oasis image is so famous that the Peruvian government once printed it on the 50 soles banknote to confirm its value. You will be stunned to witness the Wall of Time, Hengifoss in East Iceland, where the water drops from a proud height of 420 feet. The most special feature lies in the giant cliff surrounding the water flow, which displays extremely rare alternating black and red geological layers. These brilliant red bands are actually ancient clay layers oxidized from volcanic ash more than 5 million years ago. Scientists have found plant fossils inside the rocks, proving this frozen land was once a warm tropical forest. With vertical hexagonal basalt stone columns, the entire canyon looks like a strange architectural work from another planet. The hiking trail of 1.5 miles will bring you face to face with unique geological beauty where time is engraved through every rock layer. Located in Juneau, Alaska, Mendenhall Glacier is a massive ice block 13 miles long and part of the 1,500 square mile Juneau ice field. The deep blue ice layers at the core of this entity formed and accumulated between 150 and 200 years ago. Extreme pressure compresses the ice structure to expel all air bubbles, causing the glacier to absorb every color and reflect only blue light. Melting ice creates transparent ice caves inside the glacier, but these formations constantly change shape and collapse on their own. Many visitors describe the experience here as landing on an icy planet from a science fiction movie rather than being on Earth. Due to climate change, this glacier has retreated more than 2 miles since 1929, leaving a large freshwater lake in its wake. Deep in the Serranía de la Macarena mountains of Colombia, the Caño Cristales River is a natural wonder that possesses a truly surreal beauty. Smooth, circular sinkholes, several feet deep in the riverbed, were formed by the erosion process of stones over many centuries. The most special feature lies in the Macarenia clavigera plants, clinging to ancient quartz rocks dating back more than 1,200,000,000 years. These plants naturally transform their colors from bright red to deep purple when exposed to brilliant sunlight under the transparent water. This river, about 62 miles long, has almost no fish living in it because the water is too pure and completely lacks nutrients. Visitors are strictly forbidden from using chemicals or sunscreen when entering the water to protect the sensitive ecosystem of this location. Tongo is a majestic limestone labyrinth featuring a system of suspended water pools. The most distinctive feature here is the dozens of natural stone niches built directly onto the vertical cliffs at an elevation of more than 1,600 feet. The geological landscape here is incredibly unusual, as desert cacti grow right next to the lush, tropical vegetation of the canyon region. The river flowing through this area possesses a brilliant turquoise color thanks to the extremely high content of dissolved calcium carbonate minerals from the heart of the mountain. Rushing waterfalls pour directly from the high cliffs into the river, creating a natural hydraulic system with very high water pressure. The entire water source here is naturally heated by magma flows located deep underground, creating an extremely rare geothermal wonder. Lake Natron, located on the border of Tanzania and Kenya, is a haunting geological wonder with an extreme alkaline alkalinity level reaching pH 12. The high concentration of natron salt in the water preserves fallen animal remains through a natural process of calcification. The lake surface displays a striking red and burnt orange hue, caused by the bloom of salt-loving microorganisms and algae. Dangerous alkaline sinkholes and salt mud islands surrounding the still water create an incredibly unusual and distinct terrain. This is the most important breeding ground for lesser flamingos, with over 75% of the global population gathering here. This landmark is globally famous for its unique mummification capabilities, combined with one of the harshest ecosystems on Earth. Located in the heart of Chiapas, Mexico, the Sumidero Canyon stands as a massive geological rift formed approximately 35 million years ago. The vertical limestone walls here reach a staggering height of nearly 3,300 feet, which is equal to 3 large skyscrapers stacked together. At the base of these cliffs, the deep green Grijalva River reaches depths of 330 feet, creating an incredibly overwhelming natural space. This ecosystem serves as a home for 15-foot-long American crocodiles and various rare spider monkey species living on the canyon walls. The most unique highlight is a massive moss-covered rock structure shaped like a Christmas tree, formed by mineral deposits over many centuries. The image of the Sumidero wonder has become a sacred cultural symbol, featured prominently on the official coat of arms of Chiapas. Nestled in the Seki Mountains of Gifu Prefecture, Japan, lies Name-Monozuki Pond, also known as Monet's Pond, boasting a surreal beauty that leaves every observer in complete awe. This pond is globally famous for its crystal-clear water that allows you to see straight to the bottom at a depth of 5 feet. The secret lies in the spring water from limestone mountains, which naturally filters out bacteria and keeps the surface perfectly pure. Vibrant koi fish, swimming through lily pads across 3,000 square feet, create a scene that looks exactly like a painting by Claude Monet. A lack of nutrients in the water prevents algae growth and helps the colors of the fish and plants maintain their original vividness. This unique natural wonder offers a powerful visual experience for every visitor through its absolute and stunning purity. Located in southern Italy, the Amalfi Coast is a geological masterpiece featuring vertical limestone cliffs that rise more than 4,000 feet above the sea. The terrain structure here is defined as a vertical landscape where colorful buildings are stacked directly on top of each other on 60-degree slopes. The main road, stretching 31 miles along the cliffside, possesses thousands of hairpin turns so narrow that they barely fit one large vehicle. To farm this land, people established massive terrace systems to grow sfusato lemons, which are 3 times larger than the average size. The internal transportation system is highly unusual, with tens of thousands of ancient stone steps connecting the mountain peaks directly to the ocean. UNESCO recognizes this site as a World Heritage for the absolute adaptation of humans to the most extreme and dangerous natural conditions. Stretching along the western coast of India, the Western Ghats is an ancient mountain range dating back 150 million years with an extraordinary geological structure. With a length of approximately 990 miles, this steep cliff system serves as a giant wall that completely separates different terrain regions. It is one of the 8 largest biodiversity hotspots on the planet, home to more than 2,500 plant species used in medicine. The terrain here is dominated by bright red laterite soil, creating a powerful color contrast with the green leaves that looks like a scene from another planet. This location receives a record rainfall of up to 350 inches per year, providing a vital freshwater source for over 245 million people. This ecosystem is also the final refuge for the rare purple frog that typically lives at a depth of 12 feet underground. Located on the northwest coast of Kauai in Hawaii, the Nepali coast emerges as a breathtaking geological masterpiece featuring immense vertical sea cliffs. These giant stone walls reach heights of up to 4,000 feet, which is equivalent to 3 Empire State Buildings stacked together. The terrain is extraordinary due to sharp vertical ridges sculpted by ancient volcanic lava flows and intense natural erosion. This area has absolutely no roads for cars, meaning people can only access it by helicopter or by traveling from the ocean. Right next to the cliffs is water thousands of feet deep, home to rare Hawaiian monk seals and massive pods of whales. With 450 inches of annual rainfall, permanent waterfalls stream directly from the mountain peaks into the sea, creating a special landscape.